Hi there, YouTube fans. This is Matt of Post April 6th YouTube channel. This is the best lighting I can get, as dark as it is, and after I went through the Pro Video mode and adjusted the contrast to this. This is the best I can get. I mean, you can see me, but just a little better than barely, or slightly below barely, whichever you feel is an accurate description. And I am on a street that is a couple of blocks away from Fillmore. Oh, I'm in the light. See that? See how good I turn up now that I'm near a street light? Sorry, I had to look both ways because, you know, whoa, that's super bright. That's a little too bright. Okay. Because a lot of you know, but I'm saying this strictly for the purpose of people who have not seen me before. I'm a man who 15 years ago, on April 6th, 2011, was so badly hit by a car, me as a pedestrian. I was hit by a car as I was walking across the street so bad, I narrowly avoided death. My skull was fractured bad. In the brain, I was suffering from subdural hematoma, and I started bleeding in the brain. I was in Denver Health Medical Center for 11 weeks. Within the first not 24, more like 48. I had 2 different brain surgeries. Okay, here were the reasons for the brain surgeries. The first one was a drilling incision back this way in the back of my head because my brain was swelling up so bad. The tree covered up the light. There. That's about as good as it's going to get. Okay, so let me resume what I was talking about. The second surgery was extensive brain surgery immediately after I had a cerebral brain hemorrhage. A cerebral brain hemorrhage is actually a form of stroke called hemorrhagic. Yes. Instead of the blood vessel going like this, it ruptures like that. And here, I'll do a demonstration with my hands. Because see, this is my right hand. Look how good I can move my hands. I can snap my fingers real good with this hand. Okay, now I will demonstrate with my left hand. Can't move it as fast, and the snapping of the finger sounds like my fingers are slipping. It doesn't sound like this. Okay. And oh boy, we're heading into darkness again. And what I have been up to today, I know this is going to get quite dark, but I'll talk for a little bit longer before I have to cut out. Well, I'll just keep talking. I wrote a letter to a woman, I can't say her name, who I've known since I was 10 years old. I first met her way, way back. About 42 years ago, back in 1984, when me and my mother and father, my parents lived in a nice house located in Cerebral. It's a subdivision that is within the city limits of Castle Rock. And that part of Castle Rock is in Douglas County, and you go just a little bit further north, even though you're part of the deep south part of the Denver metro area. You're in Lone Tree, a couple miles away, about 2-3 miles away. We're actually about a mile and a half, somewhere between a mile and a half and 2.8 miles away. Oh, good. I can be seen crystal clear again. Yeah, there's good lighting right here. And I started the letter by telling her about what I was going through in August of 2021. When at that time, in 2021, I was still living in Huntington, West Virginia. And life was a whole different ballgame then than it is now. And I I proceeded to keep typing up significant dates of what happened when, up until July 13th, 2024. And July 13th, 2024, for me, was my 51st birthday. And I'm going to continue to write up some more events of what happened between July 13th, 2024 until the present day. She's going to hear about some pretty interesting things. And oh gosh, we're going into darkness again because I'm around all these trees. You see, I'm not doing this as special effects. It's an honest to God fact. Because depending on what the lighting is in the housing nearby, combined with the lighting that would come from the street lights, the brightness of the light and how well I can appear cuts in and out. And the only reason I'm doing the talking that I'm doing is because people who are avid YouTube watchers would be interested. And am I expecting 1 million hits out of this? No, because it's not going to go that way. But hopefully, this won't be a super flop. Because I tell you, if I edit and then post this, and I'm only getting about 14 hits in a year, or less than 14, bye-bye. I'm going to delete it. And I don't do that just to be mean. I do that because I don't want to get my channel to start looking really bad. You know, can't have that. Can't have that. And the other, oh, I'm bright again. It's because I'm near a bright street light. The other thing I will continue to do is I will keep walking. How did that gunk get on my lip? Huh. Anyway, I will keep walking until I get to Whole Foods. And then, once I get to Whole Foods, I am going to catch a RTD bus back to where I live in southeast Denver, because the distance between where I am living, or excuse me, where I am right at this moment, and where I'm living is at least 8 miles. Yeah. See, this is a whole different area, whole different type of environment, whole different type of people that would live here. You know, where I am in an area of Congress Park, and it's also near not Capitol Hill, Capitol Heights. Yes, because Capitol Heights and Capitol Hill are a distance apart of at least a mile away from each other. And once I get home, I will continue this vlog. But for right now, I'm going to have to sign off. But please, please stay tuned. There's going to be more. Thank you. Well, I'm finally back again. I don't know what else to talk about, except I guess I'll do a brief description of what happened. As it was just displayed after I did a 10-second filming to show the street sign of where I was actually doing the walking during my vlog that was going on in the Congress Park neighborhood between 12th Avenue and 8th Avenue. Right before 8th Avenue was when I stopped filming. The street was North Steele Street. Steele is how it's spelled. And that neighborhood for sure is Congress Park. It's not Capitol Heights, but it's close. It's pretty close to Capitol Heights. And then what I did after I stopped filming was I crossed the street and I kept going down Steele Street until I got to 3rd Avenue. On 3rd Avenue, I turned west, or I turned right. Yeah, I turned right. And I just keep going down that street until I get to, I think it was, it was Columbine. And then I turned left until I got to Whole Foods. And what I did is before I crossed the street to get into Whole Foods, I looked at my transit app. And I knew I only had 9 minutes to get a couple of important things done, which was one, hurriedly go to the bathroom because my bladder was about to explode. I know that's too much information, but it's true. And then I went up this one aisle, and I was looking for dried fruits that would be good for me to eat. Couldn't find anything. So then I turn around and I go down this way for the next aisle next to it. And I did immediately find something that was a need, which was a roll of paper towels. So I grabbed the cheapest one, and I grabbed it quick. And then I started walking fast towards self-checkout. And right by there was I think they called it a Rainbow Rice Krispies. And I grabbed one of those really quick because that's right by self-checkout. And then I logged in and I checked everything out as fast as I could move. And then I paid for the groceries and I put the receipt in the bag, and then I walked out as fast as I could. Then what I did is I walked down First Avenue to the crosswalk at the street lights, or street light, so I could get over to the opposite side of First Avenue and walk up about 1 block to where I would need to go to catch a 83L RTD bus. And I only had to wait at that RTD bus stop for roughly about 3 minutes. And I immediately pull out my RTD My Ride app so I can scan the QR code for the 3-hour pass and get on, sit down where I was supposed to sit down, and I rode the bus until I got to Steele in Quebec. And then I get off, and I wait, 4 to 5 minutes roughly, for the 73 that's heading south. And I take the 73 until I get to a street that is near where I live. And then I walked, probably about a half mile to my where I am in the apartment complex, which is deep downhill. And then I go in, and my cat is really happy to see me. In fact, she greeted me right at the door. And I fed her some cat food. And then I go over to the freezer, and I take out a nice frozen meal called Boston Market. Hold on, I'm gonna go look at that really quick. Boston Market beefsteak pasta. And I heat it up in the microwave according to the instructions. And then I ate that, and then after I was done eating that, it's about this size, thing of, I think they called it Rainbow Rice Krispies because it had Rice Krispies, and it had those little Krispies that were red and blue that make it kind of a rainbow looking dessert treat or snack. And then after that, I sipped on some coffee for a little bit. No, actually, I take that back. I didn't sip on any coffee. I sipped on some iced tea that was in the refrigerator that was what I did not consume when I ate a meal that was delivered to me by DoorDash. And what it was Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, original burger with fries. And I got a sweet iced tea with that as a nice combo meal option. And that got delivered to me. And I already had at least half a cup of coffee, so I put the iced tea in the refrigerator. Well, anyways, when I come back here, after I left for about probably about exactly 3 hours and eat what I have already discussed. I was sipping on the iced tea. And it was delicious. It was pretty good iced tea. I was really impressed. And then after that, I watched a little something on YouTube, and then I light up my pipe. It's this one. Yep. That's the Jerry Perry freehand. Yep. And I watched a few little things on YouTube that I wanted to watch. And then what I did was, after I got done watching a few things on YouTube, and I petted my cat a few times, I thought, you know, it's time to do the remainder of your YouTube vlog. Here was one thing that I heard about earlier today that I didn't, because of some of the political things that this man said, I really don't like him. But I feel bad for him because, you know, he's the founder of CNN, Ted Turner. At age 87, he just passed away. For several years, I think since 2018 or 2019, he has been suffering with Lewy body dementia. Yeah. And I did, when I looked at a news segment about him passing away, I did feel bad. And let's see what else. Oh, apparently in LA, there was a big bust. 17 different people were busted for a fentanyl drug bust. That's big. It may not be the biggest bust ever, but it's big. And I also like what has been going on, based on what I've heard, about these people going around on motorcycles doing stunts, and they're doing stunts in such a way that they're doing something that's unsafe. They got busted. It was like 8 or 9 people that got busted. And this is in the Bay Area. This isn't in LA. What else? Oh, back to the walk that I had this evening. When I was walking down 3rd Avenue, it's 3rd Avenue and Milwaukee. There is a new apartment building that is under construction called the Oasis. Luxury apartments. The cheapest apartment that they're going to have is going to be somewhere between $2,500 per month or over $3,000 per month. And even if you're well-to-do, that's still a lot of money. Sorry, it is. Oh, and the other thing that I did back to, after I got back home and have been doing what I've been doing since for the last 3 hours, I did listen to 4 Sticks. It's a Led Zeppelin song. The song was on Led Zeppelin 4. And that's also the same song that had Black Dog and Stairway to Heaven. Yeah. And the only other thing I can discuss before I end the vlog is tomorrow, got to go to work. Got to be a cashier at the grocery store. And what else is going to happen between now and when I report for work? Other than getting up and doing the dishes and making breakfast and then, taking a shower, shaving, brushing my teeth. What else happens? Who knows? I'll play it by ear. That's all I got to say. Well, I hope all of you have enjoyed this vlog. I did the best I could. I kept thinking over and over and over and over again about what to say, and I just thought, well, just be yourself. Talk about what really happened. Don't be a big actor. Thank you, everyone. It's time for me to go now, and goodbye. Thanks a lot.